All right, well, let's jump into this. 123. Why do so many people have the dream to travel? What is the purpose of travel, Mr. Ollie? What do you think?
I think that it's excitement. We want to see new places. We want to learn new things. We want to enjoy new experiences, whether that's, getting some new style clothes like this fresh Guatemala shirt that I have here, or tasting some new delicious food with different types of spices. And it's just a beautiful thing to be able to go experience a new world essentially for a limited amount of time. Take these experiences, expand your context of the world, of how people live outside of where you live, and then come back home, right, to where you're safe, and share your experience. I think that is kind of the primary reason why most people want to travel, is that just excitement of all of this newness around you. What do you think of why people always want to travel? Because it really is a thing of like, you ask so many people, um, okay, like, let's say you won the lottery, or let's say you don't have to worry about money, what would you do? And one of the top answers for sure is people say travel the world. So why do you think so many people want to travel?
Isn't that crazy? Like, so many people say that, and so few actually do it.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you hear it. Like, how many high school kids, when they're about to graduate, say, I just want to take a year off and go backpack Europe. I want to go travel, right? Like, we're ingrained to want to experience more and want to travel. So to me, I think it's a natural curiosity, right? It's one of the most childlike traits that we keep as adults is the curiosity of how other people live. You know what I mean? To me, that's essentially what travel boils down to. Is I want to see how other people live. I want to see the ocean and how do they live right there and experience it. And sadly, I think we limit our own ability to travel. And,
Yeah.
and we just take it off the table like, well, I can't. I have to work, or I have this, I have that. And then ultimately, like we've talked about many times, at the end of your life, what do people regret? Is the stuff they didn't do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're never gonna regret not taking that trip. I
no,
mean, you'll always regret not taking that trip.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So I think travel is that mystical curiosity that lives in all of us, no matter what our circumstances are. And for many people, it just is something that we don't feed into. We don't allow to really blossom.
Why do you think, Jerrod, like, why is it that what is it that really holds us back from traveling when the overwhelming majority of us say that that's one of the top things we want to do? Like, that's our dream. I mean, it's so common. Everyone says, oh, I want to travel. What really holds us back?
Mm, I mean, I would say what my thought is our own limits, our own beliefs,
Mm.
right? And then buying dumb shit. To be honest with you, like think about the people that travel, depending on their stage in life, usually have the freedom to travel because they're not tied down to an inordinate amount of bills, car payments, house payments, this payment, that payment, right? The more payments you get in life, honestly, the more limited you are to where you live. So I think some of it comes back to economics. Like people, especially in where we're at, we're very affluent. Like most people have the means to travel if they choose to, they just don't prioritize it. Or they do I'll put it off till someday game.
Mm.
Someday I'll travel. Someday I'll do this. Someday I'll do that. And then you run out of some days. What do you think?
Mm.
Why do you think? I mean, many people that want to travel and don't. Why do you think that happens?
Yeah, I think you nailed it there. Limiting beliefs, mismanagement of money, simply just not a priority. Because at the end of the day, if it's a priority to you, you can overcome these limiting beliefs and find a way. It's not it's not outrageously expensive, especially for Americans to travel. Just getting back from Guatemala, even today with the dollar weakening, the dollar's strong there. Everything is much cheaper there. You have some money to get your flight, and you're going to be able to go. I think a lot of people feel like they limit themselves by saying these things like I can't, I don't have time, by these limiting beliefs, that as we continue to proclaim these beliefs into the universe, assert these beliefs in our mind, they become real. Instead of saying I can't, I don't have time, you switch these limiting beliefs to something like all I have is time, and I have the power to choose what I do with that time. Or I can't take off of work. I have work that right now is a higher priority to me than traveling. Stop these limiting beliefs, get to the core of them, and then you'll find ways and paths to be able to travel. But I think you're absolutely right. The primary reasons why people hold themselves back from traveling is limiting beliefs and not making it a priority.
But then you watch, and there's TV shows about traveling. There's movies, like everything is essentially about traveling in some form.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll consume that information, but we won't allow ourselves to participate in it.
Yeah. And it's all bullshit, honestly. Any reason or excuse you make for not traveling is bullshit. If you say not enough money, dude, there are some cheap hostels. There's cheap ways to go. You can buy flights in advance for very low costs. Um, you can do it on the cheap, cheap. I met some young people at the Mystical Yoga Farm, and I was very impressed with how little money um, they spent getting around the world. I met this one woman named Margot from France. She's been traveling in Central South America for 4 years on it's literally spending very, very little money, couple $1,000 a year to just do whatever the heck she wants.
How happy?
Um,
How happy did she seem?
Oh, super happy. I mean, my time at the Mystical Yoga Farm, I have never received more hugs and smiles, singing, and just authentic, genuine connection. Like there was we went to a place called the Mystical Yoga Farm on Lake Atitlan, and the name is underrated, to be honest. It was beyond mystical. And it's because there's no overuse of technology, and why people are connecting, bonfires, playing music, cracking jokes, they're skinny dipping. It's just total freedom, no judgment, no ego. And it was a beautiful thing to see, because we, here in modern society in the West, with the structure of corporations and get a job and how you're supposed to be, it really limits our true expression. I have a quick story. When we first got there, Courtney and I were, the outsiders. They're people who live on this farm, total self-sufficient community. It's a community dining area, so everyone eats together every meal every day. They do yoga together, they meditate together, and then pretty often, a few times throughout the week, they'll have a bonfire. And everyone's sitting on the floor all the time. Damn, my knees got pretty sore from sitting on the floor so much. But the first night there, we were exploring, and we were just like starstruck. This incredible volcanoes surrounding the place, birds and beautiful nature sounds all over. And we're just like walking around. More than half the people are just barefoot. You're walking on this like beautiful earth, on this just ground made from volcanic ash. And as we were exploring, we walked by the fire circle on the first night, and the guy who runs the farm, his name is Ja Hendo, and real hippie looking dude and real nice, and has like kind of like a couple dreads, and it's just like playing guitar and some other people playing music, and they were serving cacao, which I got to get you some authentic cacao from Guatemala. It's nice, man. It's kind of like a coffee, but it's more of like, instead of like go up and kind of like crash, it's more of like a go up and like stay steady. Like you have energy for a while, and it feels kind of more natural instead of that jittery. So I really like it. I'm gonna get you some. Um, so they were serving cacao and everyone's playing music, and I noticed that they would kind of open it up for someone to share a song. And it was my first time, Jerrod, that I was very inspired to learn just to play a little bit on the guitar and sing a song, because there was like this guy that I met there. His name was Hawk, and he was kind of this more like masculine dude, and he sang a song about like the owl and the hawk, and was just playing the drums. And then this other girl, her name was Sunny, beautiful girl, beautiful smile, beautiful laugh, just like this vibrant girl, and she played a song about like loving your heart. And they were just passing around the instruments, and everyone had their song to offer. And it was like I got to know these people on a deep level with just a couple minutes of hearing them share their song. And I was thinking, like, in, here in the US, and when we're in like our social structures and modern structures, we're so like shelled up. It's hard to break free even and like have a conversation, but much less play a song for each other and sing a song. Like, people, public speaking is ranked a higher fear than death here. So imagine public singing, And I was just like, wow, like everybody was just singing. And then the group of people who had just been there on a 6-week residency, that's all they were commenting on. They were like, I have really been able to open up and be my true self here more than anywhere that I've been, da 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 da. And it was really powerful, and it really made me like, it also made me think about the first On Purpose workshop that we had, and how so many people in that space were like, I was more vulnerable here than I am with like friends and family and people I know. And like, when you can create that space of like love, purpose, connection, we open up, and that feels so good to open up and truly be authentically you.